This is not another Bora Bora or the Maldives video. In fact, I actually had to look up where the Maldives was. Instead, back in February, I took a trip to the Philippines and had a wonderful, luxurious experience that I want to share with you. In this video, I will cover the resort that I stayed at, how you can book this same exact trip, and what to expect while you're on the island. Let's get into it. Prior to taking my trip to the Philippines, I was only a YouTube creator for approximately 30 to 45 days. So in this video, there's going to be a lot of photos from my experience and not necessarily videos, because when I was on this island, I was really enjoying my time disconnecting from real life. And yeah, so let's get into it. We stayed at a 5-star resort called Pangulasian Island. It's an El Nido resort, and there were signs on the property regarding the SLH program, or small luxury hotel. But upon returning home, I could not find this property on the SLH website. Note, this could be because of the transition from Hyatt and over to Hilton. Or maybe it's no longer part of the small luxury boutique hotels program, despite definitely being both small and luxurious. There are 4 total resorts a part of this property group. By staying at Pangulasian Island, you can travel and access to all the other resorts complimentary. But let's start at the beginning. We first traveled from the US to Manila on Turkish Airlines business class. We spent a few nights in Manila exploring and getting accustomed to the time zone. After that, we used Air Swift to fly nonstop from Manila to El Nido. Airport code Echo November India. The airline was very similar to, I imagine, Breeze, Ryanair, etc. But they did provide complimentary bottles of water. Upon landing, it's a very small airport with what seemed to be a single airstrip. We were offered umbrellas to walk from the plane into the building structure. This was maybe a 30-foot walk. So this level of service from an airline, I really enjoyed. 10 out of 10 in my book. Once all of the luggage was collected, we were escorted to an air-conditioned van. And honestly, at this point, we had no clue where we were going. It kind of felt like an Amazing Race drop-off point. It's important to note, unlike the Maldives, where you must pay $600 per person for an airport to resort transfer, this part was all included. We drove approximately 5 minutes before we made 2 stops. First, some people decided to hang out and grab drinks at the mainland, and we were then driven approximately 100 more yards to the end of a boardwalk. And about 5 minutes later, a speedboat arrives and starts heading us towards the resort. Here's a clip from the ride. Look at that sky and this clear water. Dang, I want to go back. I'm Key, and my channel is called keyKEYadventures. If you haven't watched my channel before, I primarily use points and miles to help me go on some amazing adventures. Since 2017, I've spent over 6 million points and miles on some of those journeys. My channel focuses on the mistakes I've made along the way with credit cards and credit card rewards programs, so you don't have to make those same mistakes. But also my future travel goals, which in 2024 includes attending all of the Major League Baseball stadiums, as well as doing a trip per month. The boat ride itself was very smooth and took approximately 20 minutes before we arrived at the resort. We made it to this amazing boutique property in the middle of the ocean. Somehow, our luggage was already sitting there and in the shade when we arrived, and upon getting off the boat, we were given these banana leaf necklaces shaped into a fish. Provided coconut water with fresh coconut in it, and members of the property staff were singing and playing instruments as the welcome. This is something we got accustomed to every single night as new guests arrived. This video quality is terrible, but close your eyes and imagine being on this island with me for a second. Wait. Have you subscribed to my channel yet? Remember that I'm a new creator, and by you subscribing to my channel and liking this video, it really does help me out. Upon arrival, our room wasn't immediately available for check-in, so instead we were instructed to head up to lunch. Reason number 2, this is better than Bora Bora or the Maldives, is that all meals were included in the cost of the stay. I'm gonna call it partially inclusive since we did have to pay for alcoholic drinks. As for the menus, Breakfast included fresh fruits, charcuterie items, eggs cooked to order, and then traditional Filipino breakfast items such as garlic rice, longanisa, and so many other things, including pastries. Lunch and dinner always had multiple courses. 3 options for starters, mains, and usually desserts. It was not uncommon for the head chef to come around and ask if there was anything special he could make for us. Some of the highlights for me included the surf and turf night, where there was lobster and steak, but I really enjoyed the soups that were offered almost at every meal, and for dessert, having halo halo. This is shaved ice with coconut milk, ube ice cream on top, jackfruit, flan, and so many things are hidden inside the shaved ice. So delicious. The resort has 4 different types of rooms, and we elected to stay in the beach villa. We were maybe 20 steps away from touching the ocean. Each night, they would provide cookies, a snack, replenish our glass water bottles, and mood set all the lights. The resort itself provided sunscreen and bug spray, but also sandals, hats, a beach bag, and some other amenities. Some very nice touches, and it seemed like each time we left our villa, someone would come by and provide fresh towels and rake the sand leading into our villa. As I mentioned, there are other types of rooms shown on my screen, but I honestly recommend the beach villa. The property itself only has about 40 rooms, so the pool area was never crowded, except for the night we had a moonlit dinner. As we laid by the pool, the employees would make sure there were no leaves that ever touched the water for more than 5 minutes. I mentioned the food being included, but each night there was a 3-hour or so happy hour where drinks were buy one, get one free. We definitely made use of this time. Each day, we filled our time lounging by the pool, eating, and doing some activities. The activities were also included. I enjoyed snorkeling because I had never done this prior. The coral reef and just pure beauty under the water really amazed me. We also did island hopping, spent half another. Last but not least is how you can book this. Well, as I mentioned, there were a lot of signs on the property stating that it was an SLH property. So, sometime in 2024, you should maybe be able to book this maybe with Hilton points or free night certificates from Hilton. Alternatively, or you can use the Chase travel portal. I would recommend upgrading to the Chase Sapphire Reserve so you receive the 1.5x in the portal. You can pay cash or use a card like the VentureX so you can erase your travel expenses. So to cover our drinking expenses while we were there, we used the Capital One VentureX card for spending, and then we erased our travel charges using points. I appreciate you watching. If you like what you heard, give this video a like and drop some comments below.